Hello, my name is JP Hofseth, and I'll be showing my initial block mesh of the level I'm making for Project in Portfolio 4. I've called this level Underwater Escape. The premise of this level is that you are trying to escape this lab that has been infiltrated by some sea monsters. I don't have the sea monsters in quite yet, but I'll be working on that this upcoming week. This is the lab that you initially start off in. You can see there's computers, there's pipes with valves, there's even a hatch to go underwater under the facility. We'll get to that later. There's also, these are the main consoles, the main computer consoles that are connected to the facility systems. These, of course, are hooked up to the research. Now, there will be research collectibles that I'll be adding in to the level. This will be one of the side objectives, but right now let's just do the main course and the main objective. So you start in the corner and gravitate down the main hallway. Doing so, you'll find boxes and different things in your way, even a forklift. As the story of this facility goes is that they were closing it down since it hasn't been productive at all in the research that they were doing. You come out to the main hallway, you see more boxes, more servers lining up. You also see the vents and the gas pipes above. Now the gas pipes will come into play later. I'll be adding some flames and some leakage, water pipes as well that are leaking that the player is going to have to turn off or turn on in order to get around. But this is the main control room. All the paths will lead to this main control room because you have to come here to come to the one console still working. If you notice, that's a picture of the launch bay doors. In order to escape the facility, you have to open the launch bay doors. So let's interact with the computer, and you get to see the launch bay doors open. So let's head to the launch bay. Now I do plan on putting one of the sea creatures in here, so you're going to have to deal with that sea creature in order to actually get to the computer console. I'm not going to have a combat mechanic per se. I'm going to have more of trying to use the valves and maybe the water and the fire to distract or kill the monster. Right now I haven't been able to mess with the animation with the hands, so it's still in the first person gun mode that was given to us by the instructors. And there's the submersible. So let's go over here. I need to put an indicator on here that this is the console that still works, but I haven't gotten to that point as of yet. If you notice, the clamps go up, the hatch goes up on the submersible, you jump into the submersible, and that kills the game. Now I need to put some sort of closing window there, and something that pops up saying, hey, you made it. Now let's take a look at the second path that I have available. Again, these valves, I do have them working right now as far as turning. If you notice, I can come up here and I'll turn the valve if I hit it. I just need to put in the particle effects to actually turn on and off some flames that I plan on having and water I plan on having so that it makes the player have to avoid more things. This is the berths, which is a nautical term to mean where people sleep. If you notice, I also made it so that the doors that don't open, they actually do open a little bit. So you player can go up and try to interact with the doors, and they're actually set to randomly open a certain amount. It is a little buggy and I do need to fix that. I also plan on having one of the sea creatures in here so that when you go this route, this will be the first encounter you have with one of them. And that takes us back out to the main hallway, which of course brings us back to the control room. And when you come to the control room again, you go back to over here. You get the launch bay doors open. and we'll head back a different route. Instead of going through the first available door, we're actually going to go through the second available door. I've also added a crouch feature, and there's a sprint function. I was adding in some props to make it look like they are moving, but I haven't had time to add in as many as I'd like. There's a little galley kitchen I started designing in here. And this is the kitchen / lounge area, as you can see. Couches and chairs. Again, we're at a submersible. The clamps move up as does the hatch. And again, we make it out. So for my third route, I wanted to add swimming because I've never added swimming to a level yet. So I added the swimming mechanic here. So you can go swimming underneath the facility. And even these will open somewhat, but they don't open fully either. As you can see, you can go swimming up, you can go swimming down, you can even swim faster. I want to add a breath mechanic so that you're not just sitting down here with all the time in the world, but I haven't gotten to that yet either. So we're over here, we're now in the main storage facility. You can see they're trying to pack up everything to get out. And again, more valves that you can turn. This is the main air control system for the facility. I plan on having one of the sea creatures in here. I might make the interaction a little bit longer too. I've been playing around with that. I think that's something that might come out a little bit in play testing. A bit more, but we'll see. And then of course we come back here. I liked setting up the monitor for this. I'm debating on whether or not to actually make the other monitors flash different colors. I wanted to add it so that there was a video that played of a person talking. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough time for that, trying to direct the player on where to go and how to get around the facility. That would be ideal. I don't know if I'm going to have the scope for that in this particular class. So we'll see. I might make the walk speed a little bit slower. Seem to be just cruising along. Now, if you notice on this one, looks like you're trapped, but you have to try one of these doors and it actually opens up. Plan on putting some collectibles down here as well. A reason to actually come this route versus the other ones that are obviously much quicker. Now, some of these doors open, some of them don't. It all depends. I made most of the ones on this route open to at least, side paths and whatnot that you can put collectibles in, maybe something so that plan on putting maybe some of the research notes. I was debating putting maybe some wildlife down here, but the thought behind this facility is that it was deep in the ocean, so the only things that would really be down here maybe some sea anemones, excuse me, and maybe a squid or two. Ooh, walls. We got to get rid of those. All right. And that puts us right here in the sub bay. That by far is the longest route of the three. And again, that opens that up, and we can jump in the hatch. Now, as far as all our side missions, just a quick rundown. The main objective, of course, is opening the launch bay and then getting the clamp and the submersible so that you can get out of the facility. I'm going to have multiple sub-objectives depending on the time I have to reach them. There's going to be collecting all the research notes or hard drives that I'm going to put throughout the board. There's going to be whether or not you went swimming. There's going to be whether or not you killed one of the sea creatures, and then there's going to be whether or not you survived an attack by one of the sea creatures. I'm also debating on the idea of putting on there which route you took A, B, or C, and having something that maybe tells you how much of the facility you've explored or completed. If you notice, you have to. I don't think I got out of swim mode. Nope, it looks like that's a bug too. I'm gonna have to mess with a little bit. Yep, but that's my block mesh playthrough at this time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you tune in when I do my next one. So thank you again, and again, my name is John Paul Hofseth, or JP Hofseth is what I go by.